Oh! Oh, God. Oh! Patty sousing him. Oh! Patty sousing him. Ow! Ow!
My name is Mike, sponsored by Hook Fishing. Today we're going to learn about how to clean a fish properly. We're going to go over the supplies, life sharpening techniques, species of fish, things like that. I've grown up fishing my entire life. I know everything there is to know. And one reason that you should know why you need to clean a fish is if you're stuck in the wild and all you've got is a knife, some fishing line, and some hooks, it could be a possible lifesaver.
Alright, so I grew up fishing with my father, and he's taught me about the outdoors and fishing my whole life. So I just kind of grew on it, and I really like it now. So first of all, we're going to talk about the basics of fishing. So first of all, you're going to need a knife, because how else are you going to clean a fish if you can't cut it open? And we have some different knives here. We have these that are a little older and longer for bigger fish. Mine right here is just for panfish, small fish. You can hook it on your belt right here, so it's easy for use. And then you have this one, which I don't really know much about, but Mike will talk to you about that.
Okay guys, first thing you're going to want to know if you're going to catch a fish is you got to have a rod. So the rod I have is about a 7-foot Shimano, and the line is very subjective to what type of fish you're going to catch. I've got 8-pound test line on here, and so I use that for bigger fish, but if you're looking for smaller fish you might go with 2 or 3 pound. And if you're using the wrong type of line, it could break and you could lose your fish. Now what you're also going to want to have is a tackle box. And so with a tackle box, what you've got is you've got all kinds of lures. You've got swim baits like this, you've got frogs for bass, you even got some ducks in there too. You got rooster tails for pike, and sometimes you can just use a jig and a worm to get some smaller panfish. But another important essential when it comes to fishing, you've got to have a pair of hemostats. These puppies can take the hooks out of fish, which means you won't damage the fish or hurt them if you try to let them go.
Before you start cleaning your fish, you should probably sharpen your knife, but this one you're probably going to need a longer sharpener like this, because it is a bigger knife. And this is for filleting the fish, bigger fish, like I said earlier. And then this knife is more for skinning them, to get all the skin off, if you like the skin off, or if you like the skin on. If you like the skin on, you use a scaler. This is a really slick tool. This is from Michigan, from my dad's friend, for a gift. So that's kind of nice to have, and it saves me a ton of time. And this is for skinning and filleting, like I said earlier, for just smaller panfish. It's a really nice tool.
Okay, so before you want to start cutting your fish, you're going to want to make sure that your knives are sharp. So a way to test that your knives are sharp is if you take the blade, put your fingers like this, and move it against your skin. It should be sharp enough that you can feel it catch on your fingertips, but if it's not, here's how you're going to want to sharpen a blade. So the blade is like a metal triangle, and so if you're sharpening this side right here, you're going to want to bring it towards you, just like this. That will sharpen the one edge, and so once that edge is sharp, you take the other edge and push that away from you, creating that triangle shape. Now, this works for the larger knives, but like Isaac said, for the smaller knives, you're going to want a different sharpener, one like this. Now, one like this has the V cut in there, if you can see that, the white V's, and so you just take the knife and you put it right through there, which sharpens both sides simultaneously.
Alright, so here we are outside, whole 8 degrees out, but when it's a life or death situation, you gotta do what you gotta do. So we're gonna take these freshly caught fish that we caught this morning. We just put them in a festival bag for it to look nicer. So basically, here's our trout, and it looks pretty Doesn't look that good right now, but once we touch it up, it'll look fine. All right, so first of all, if you like the skin on, we're gonna take our scaler that we mentioned earlier, and we're basically just gonna run it right up its fin right here, and we're just gonna pull all the scales off.
Degrees. We gotta hurry up before the fish freezes. Our life kind of depends on it. So what I want to do first is make a crescent cut behind the gill plate. So you see just like that. And so then what you're going to want to do is take the tip of the knife and you want to cut up until you feel the spine. So I hit the spine right there. So I'm going to want to just keep making small fillet incisions right there. And so you can see there's the spine right there. I've cut right along it. You can feel that with the edge of your knife. And so once you get right about down to here where you're parallel, you're adjacent to the back fin right here, you want to take the knife and put it like this and go through the vent. Then you're going to want to push down along that rib line and cut out just like that. You can see there's the spine right there, there's the ribs, and here's the tail meat. So once you're done with that, you just kind of go along that rib line and you keep pushing on down farther and farther, moving your way up. And you want to make sure you don't get any bones in there, because if you're serving it to a big group of people and they get bones in there, I'm not going to be too fond of that. Oh, that's cold. All right, so once in a while you might get stuck up here on a piece of skin. It's okay, just take the blade of the knife and move it up like that. And so you can see I've taken almost the whole fillet off already. And so there you go. There's one side of the fish that's been filleted. So in conclusion, today we went over the supplies you're gonna need, like lures, hemostats, sharpeners, knives, rod, reel, and of course the fish.
Conclusion, for the filleting part, we just showed you how to fillet it and how to skin it properly so you don't really die when you're in the wilderness, and that you'll be able to eat it properly.